Yesterday, I had the very difficult, I'm not going to say even if it was a decision. My dog got rushed to the vet in Lakeland. Unfortunately, as many people know, that there's not an emergency vet system in Fort McMurray, or certainly not a strong one. And I'm not going to fault the hardworking vets and the people for that. It's not really the vet's fault, but there is a serious problem. About 48 hours ago, my dog, little D, was sick and wasn't eating. I made the decision to wait and see a little bit. And I regret that decision because he swallowed something. So when I realized how bad it was, I rushed him to Lakeland, and the vet there did emergency surgery on him. And when he came out of anesthetic, his heart didn't come back for whatever reason. And I was in the room, so it was very traumatic. And they did emergency CPR on him, and they were unable to get him back. So today I thought I would do a video that isn't so much about the death of little V. It's more about the journey that I take when I lose an animal. He's in the back of the truck and he's on his dog bed, and I chose to take him out of his bag and not to freeze him. And I'm going to do this thing that's called viewing cremation. So for me, I decided that I would put little D in the back of the truck, and I deliberately put him on his dog bed. And I also decided that I wanted the sun to be on him, and I wanted the last journey to just, I don't know, somewhat be peaceful. It's a beautiful ride for scenery from Fort McMurray to Edmonton, especially this time of year. So I wanted to enjoy that. I also wanted to bring Priscilla so she wasn't alone today looking for little D. So I think these are steps that I took to make my journey a little bit easier, as well as, I don't know, I guess as spiritual as you can make this moment, or as symbolic or meaningful as I could. So we're at the halfway point. We just passed Wandering River. Still a beautiful view. There's, hay fields with round bales and traffic coming, and highway's pretty quiet. And the emotion that I go through right now is really up and down. Like, I'm questioning, did I do things right? But now I'm feeling waves of guilt about that. Could I have done things differently? Little D really liked to swim, Did I let him swim enough? Probably not. I think it's very important that all journeys with your dogs from start to finish are important. And it's not fun taking a dead dog to get cremated. For me, I feel that I owe that to my animal. I definitely owe it to little D. Little D was a very, very, very interesting dog. The truth is, I didn't even want him. I got Priscilla, and she needed a friend, and we went to the SPCA, and then I wanted them to actually bring out a different dog at first, but little D came out, and he fell in love with her instantly, so they became really good friends. We arrived at the Meadows, and the Meadows is a beautiful facility that does pet cremation. They also do euthanasia. They do all kinds of things for your pets. Now, why I'm making this video is I just once again want to reiterate that I'm a big believer that you get a dog, and it's very important that you take all the journeys. So you pick up the puppy, you love the puppy. Puppy brings you tons of joy. You're upset. You got a death in your family. Like your grandma dies and the dog stays with you. They sense that type of emotion. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this video is just to say that these are all the steps for you to close that chapter with your dog. Whether you get a dog, the most chances is that you'll end up saying goodbye to that dog before that dog says goodbye to you. And for me, I think that if you come to a place like this, it's very important to show the respect to the dog and try to repay the love and the care that the dog or whatever animal gave you. When letting go of an animal, at least me personally, how I let my animal go, I will never forget that. So I want to give little D a proper send-off for what an amazing dog he was to me. This is the hardest part, and it's also the most rewarding part. Now, I wanted Priscilla here because I believe they know when the other one is gone, and Priscilla, she knows little D's gone, and this is not easy for her. But it's also, I think, in my opinion, essential that she gets to say goodbye. She's not expecting little D to come back. What happens now is you spend some time with him and you say your goodbyes, and then they goes into the next room there and they put him through the cremation. A lot of people, when their animals are dying, they're very emotional, and the easiest thing to do is just say, hey, hand it off to the vet, and which is fine. But in that situation, usually what happens is the animal gets put in plastic, and then you get a box later, here's your dog or whatever. For me, I think under that pressure, when you're trying to make a decision, this is an option that allows you closure. You can say goodbye. You can make sure it's your dog in the crematorium, and it's just a bit of a memorial. Remember, most of our lives we'll be thinking about our first, second pets, and we never forget them. This is a proper send-off, and then you feel like you've done everything that you possibly could to say goodbye. This place has this beautiful place for scattering the ashes of the animals. And if you don't want your ashes, or you just want to let your animal go, it's a great place that you can connect with your animal, say proper goodbye. There's a creek, there's a meadow. It's quite nice. After it's all said and done, and obviously it's been a hard day on both me and Priscilla over here, you get a nice package, and I opted for this urn, and they put a little thing that says little D on there. I did the footprint, and I did a few other things, and then they give you this death certificate and a certificate of cremation. Nice card. Plan to treat your dog's name. I've never, that's not my thing, but I do like it. I got his paw print here, and they did quite a few of them, maybe to send to people that knew him, and maybe I'll do that, and his nose print. So I guess the moral of this video simply is that if you have to put your dog to sleep, stay with your dog. They are confused, and the one thing that they trust is you, their owner, their family. And as hard as it is to sit there with the dog and say, I want to remember my dog, how he was and all that, if you were on your deathbed, your dog would stay with you. What they offer here at the Meadows is a place where you can plan your dog's funeral if you want a funeral, how you're going to say goodbye, how you want to do the cremation. And I think that is better than having your dog put to sleep and a vet tech coming in and saying, here's your options. And then they freeze the dog, and then you wait a month or two. If you can do it and you have the means, and my suggestion for everybody is to give the pet the goodbye that they deserve. And for me, and this has not been easy, especially losing little D the way I did, which was not planned. It wasn't like I put him to sleep. It was very sudden, unexpected. It caught me off guard, and I'll be thinking about this for a very long time. And if I handled this differently and I should have done this or that, and I will regret not taking him to the vet sooner. The other thing that I want to talk about is that, in the case of Fort McMurray, I'm not going to take a shot at any of the existing vets or the clinics, but Fort McMurray desperately needs more vets, and we need another clinic and an emergency clinic. And I understand the argument that there's a shortage of vets, but I don't have any problem getting into emergency appointments in Edmonton or Lac La Biche or candidly Athabasca. So I think as a community collectively, we need to look at how we can do that. If you're in a situation and you need to put your dog to sleep,
please check out the Meadows. And my suggestion is to try the viewing cremation. It's worth it for me anyway. Thank you.